Welcome to GWRI 101, The Writer Within, from the Union Institute and University. The title of today's video is Citations and Research. Week 6 is a strategic unit in this course. In Week 6, your last personal narrative is due. It's the third paper from the original list of 20 story starters. The only difference in paper 3 is that your story must be written in the third person. Last week we discussed the third person so that you know what to do. At the same time, during week 6, we're going to begin to introduce the content for your final paper. Your final paper, a 5-page paper, will analyze your values and theories in your own social and academic practice. Your first 3 papers involved you. You had to dig within yourself to find unique stories. Hopefully these stories had some sort of lesson or theme. In paper 4, you'll delve within yourself to find something that defines you. What are the values that you treasure? What are you passionate about? What is really important to you? How will you change the world? Paper number 4 is written this way. Students will complete a 5-page paper that analyzes values and theories of ethical social responsibility. That's learning outcome number 3 in your syllabus. To your values and theories of ethical and social responsibility in one's own social and academic practice. This essay will require APA MLA format with 2 sources and 4 citations. So our focus of our writing becomes more academic in nature. The APA and the MLA format, and for most of you in this class, we will be studying the APA format. For those people in the fine arts, in the liberal arts program in Vermont, we will be studying the MLA format. These formats are quite specific. They are designated for papers, primarily papers that are being published. We may not have to go as deep into the APA process as if we were publishing a paper. We're going to focus in this video on 4 major parts of the APA MLA format that we will talk about and that we will use in this course. We will talk about the title page, we will talk about the abstract, we will talk about in-text citations, and we will talk about the reference page. Your paper is going to require 2 sources, so you're going to have to find 2 books or 2 articles, 2 journals, 2 internet sites that back what you are writing about in your paper, and you are going to have to include 4 citations. That's references from the works of others. 4 citations are going to be included in this 5-page paper. Use these citations to further your argument or to bring better credence to your thoughts. Here's an example of a title page. Title page in APA format has a running head, which includes the first 3 words of the title. The running head will be included on each and every one of your pages in the paper. And then in the middle, it has the title of your paper. In this case, it's The Effects of Age on Detection of Emotional Information. It will have your name, I Know It All, and it'll have your university. Those are the required components of a title page. An abstract will be the 2nd page in every APA MLA document. Your abstract should be 1 paragraph long and should not exceed 120 words. It's a summary of the most important elements of your paper. All numbers in the abstract, except those beginning in the beginning of a sentence, should be typed as digits rather than words. To count the number of words in this paragraph, select the paragraph, and on the Tools menu you'll see a word count. An abstract is a very brief summary of what the paper was about. It is written in the past tense, not the future tense. It's telling the reader, this is what the paper was about. It is that little 120-word abstract summary which people will decide, hey, do I want to read this paper or do I not want to read this paper? Here's an example of an abstract. Abstract, age differences. Notice in an abstract you do not indent at the beginning of a paragraph. Age differences were examined in effective processing in the context of a visual search task. Young and older adults were faster to detect high arousal images compared with low arousal and neutral items. Younger adults were faster to detect positive high arousal targets compared with other categories. In contrast, older adults exhibited an overall detection advantage for emotional images compared with neutral images. Together, these findings suggest that older adults do not display valence-based effects on affective processing at relatively automatic stages. The abstract just comes straight to the point and tells you what the article, what the paper is about. Citations. You were required to have 4 citations in your paper. Citations are defined the following way. Source information must be documented in the body of the paper by citing the authors and the dates of the sources. The full source citation will appear on the list of references that follows the body of paper. When the names and authors of a source are part of a formal structure of a sentence, the year of the publication appears in parentheses following the identification of the authors. I think the next slide will make this much more clear. Here are examples of way to cite other authors' ideas in your work. Here are 3. Knobloch, 2012, said that man will land on Mars within the next decade. So somewhere in that, in your readings, you found out that fact, that Knobloch made this prediction in 2012. Now, the Knobloch parentheses 2012 will refer the reader back to your reference page, which we'll talk about in a little bit, and it'll show you then the exact book that you got that from. Another way of citing your citations in text. Space travel virtually died during the latter part of the 20th century. A revival is anticipated, spelling error on the screen, soon, and this came from Friedman, 2011. Notice if we put it at the end, we have both Friedman and the year in parentheses. The first example, we used the author's name as the subject of the sentence, so we just had the in parentheses the title, the date of the article. And another way to do it is Huckleberry, in his book entitled Here We Come, proposed that space travel will again become relevant in the near future. If you put the author's name down and you put down the title of the book, you do not have to put the year because the person could go back to the last reference page, find Huckleberry, find Here We Come, and know exactly where it came from. Reference examples, as we were talking about, at the end of your document, you will have your reference examples. And here you've got a book by Anderson, and it shows you exactly what you need to do with this particular article by Anderson. If you go into your course textbook and look in the MLA or the APA section, it will show you exactly how to create this reference page because the rules are different for books than articles and journals and internet sites. You'll need to go to your book and actually look and find those. This is week number 6. For assignments this week, we have our Forums 11 and our Forums 12. We also have our quiz on Unit 6, and we have our 3-page narrative using the third person, the last of those 3 narratives that we've been talking about since the beginning of the class. Also start thinking about your last paper. It's not due to the end of the 8th week, but we are start talking about the APA, MLA process and coming up with ideas for that paper. Remember, there's a writer within each of us, and I truly hope that you have begun to discover the writer within you.